You've been around here for many years. You know how the politics and the process works. Is what's going on with Senate Bill 5 anything out of the ordinary? I mean, isn't this just how bills are made?
More so now, because it stinks. The whole process stinks, and I'll tell you why. When one party rules everything, it doesn't really have a check and balance that's built in to allow them to be questioned on some of the issues that are very important. Right now, they're running roughshod over the democratic process. They're doing everything they can to thumb their nose at minority members. They haven't given us a copy of the bill. It took me forever to find out when the possibility of a vote did exist, and they're really not working with us. Now, in a very kind way, the chairman of the committee has allowed as much, or at least up till now, as much testimony from the people that we think are impacted by it. But on the other hand, he hasn't given us any information about what they're going to do with the bill, or to even see it. Now, and I got 50 amendments that I'd like to offer, and I think that if the first one is eliminate lines through infinity, and that to me is the biggest one. The others are just for safety forces, for teachers, for everything, and basically, even if they took all 50 of mine, the bill still stinks. The process sucks, and then people here have to understand that it's not run the same way in a democratic process. Let me just say one other thing that I think is important. All across this country, people are standing up, looking at their TVs and wondering why all these Middle Eastern countries are starting to crumble in their governments, searching for democracies and the freedom of speech. We have to be very careful that we don't trample on the ability of people to speak out, to allow them to voice their concerns, and to do the things that are very important to change legislation in this state. Right now, they're not getting it from this Republican Party.
With the exception of the one amendment that would essentially wipe out the bill, are all of your other amendments moot because you haven't seen what the new bill is going to look like?
Well, you can't. Let's make sure that people understand this. So we use the old amendment, and we go with 50, the old bill, and we tie it in for 50 amendments. And they give a substitute bill, which I hear they have. We hear that. We don't know. Now you take it back to the Legislative Service Commission, and then you try to tie that all in with the legislative code. That's a heck of a lot of work that has to be done. So they're shortening the time that allows us to really look at the bill, read the bill, study the bill, and finally vote on it. But quite frankly, there's nothing they can do to this bill. If it says SB5 on it, we Democrats are voting against it. It's unfair to middle-class people. It's an attack on working people. It's an attack on the middle class in this state. And quite frankly, it's going to begin. It's the beginning of a full frontal attack on the middle class here in the state.
So given all that, what do you do as a lawmaker in committee tomorrow, on the floor on Wednesday potentially? What do you do about this?
Well, we make sure that our voters, our constituency knows that the unfairness of this process has been corrupted by egos that basically are making arbitrary decisions without any input from anyone else. That is very important, that we take it out of these committee rooms and let people know that the democratic process is corrupted by people who think that they can run this state roughshod, run it any way they want without any real input from the middle class or the minority party.